Red.
It's awesome.
Flash.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Congressman Cool Rick. I'm one of the moderators of Clash of Clans. Joining me, Sam, Gingerbread Recon, and Spencer Saurus. Morning, guys. How's it going?
Very good, thank you. Very good.
Yeah, all right. Big month for Clash. We got the Town Hall 15 Refresh update. And the first thing we're going to talk about this morning, increase the price of the Gold Pass.
Yep.
So, Spencer, you're the stats guy. Real quickly, walk us through everything that changed about it.
The first thing, or the main thing that changed, was there was a price increase of about $2 base price, which is about 40%. And with that, they try to compensate for it, and so they've added a bunch of new things too. 11 more tiers. We have in this in next month specifically, Cold Pass. We have two more potions, one more rune, and then some new stuff too. Which we'll go through one by one in a second. But what do you think about it overall?
Well, I'm honestly a fan, right? I think the $2 price increase, it's not great, okay? And, there was always going to be a bit of hurt over that because at the end of the day, no one likes price increases, right? That's not a normal thing to be happy about. But I think Clash has been greatly helped, by Clash Royale. I think if Clash Royale hadn't completely nosedived and crashed and burnt everything with their new pass, which was grossly unfair, then there possibly would have been a more adverse reaction to this. But I think that they've compensated well with the extra. You said it was 40% price increase. I feel like we are getting 40% more value on the whole. And ultimately, I've got 8 gold passes bought for £4.49 for the next 8 months. So I'm not too worried about it for now. But overall, I think they've done a best as job as they could have in this situation.
Yeah, 40% is, I don't know, like, if you think $2, it doesn't really sound that much, but a 40% increase is pretty high. Inflation is one of the things that people often kind of talk about. Inflation would account for a dollar of that $2 price hike, at least in US dollars. So really, we're looking at, is there $1 more of value in the Gold Pass? Maybe.
I would say, yeah.
The problem for a lot of people too is, like, if you're gonna be a max player and you're selling everything for gems, then no, I don't think there's a dollar value. The Gold Pass always had this cool little conversion where it was $5. If you sold everything, you got about 500 gems if you sold everything. Now, like, you get an extra rune and 2 extra potions, so it's not going to be $7 to 700 gems anymore. So it kind of got a bit of a nerf in that regard. But also, like, the stuff they did add, the auto forge, which it is kind of cool. It will use it's an extra forge slot that costs half price for the same amount of capital gold, and it won't use a builder. So for all of us Town Hall 15s who have been able to forge a lot of capital gold, and now we have our builders busy, it's a nice way back into having a little bit of capital gold for the next month while our builders are going. But also, if you don't care about the capital hall, or if your capital hall is getting close to max, that's not a long-term useful feature. Also, we're going to get a builder, the season bank on the builder base side, which also is really easy to not care about if you don't like builder base. Those are the big things. The season bank for the home village got 5 million more, 5 mil, and I forget how much extra dark it got, right?
50,000, gone from 200,000 to 200,000.
So I mean, we always look at things through the Town Hall 15 perspective because that's what we all are. So an extra 10 mil of resources is one wall. So it's hard to be excited about that. It is something,
Yeah, I mean, and if you look away from the Town Hall 15 lens, go lower down the Town Hall tier list, it becomes more and more and more impactful. So, I really don't think it's terrible, and I think in general the community reacted fairly positive to it as well.
So you mentioned it too. That the announcement went fairly fairly well for Supercell. Just it was always going to be a little bit of pushback at least. It was never going to be like, yay, we love spending $2 more, but also just in comparison to how Clash Royale did their changes and just the massive amount of hate and pushback that the CR guys have got for their game changes, puts it in perspective how good we're really getting it, or how not bad we're getting it.
Mhm.
Someone did point out too, like there's also going to be a multiplier for how fast your season bank fills, which is kind of interesting too. Like I've never had a problem filling my season bank, but
No, neither.
yeah,
Oh, I have.
well, yeah, I know why, because you never attack. But Darian shared a stat with us too when they were first walking us through all the changes that something like 60% of people who buy the gold pass don't actually fill their season bank, which is wild. You'll fill your season bank even casually playing. As long as you're starting upgrades and still kind of attacking, you don't have to be very active to fill
Yeah.
it. So it's wild to me that there's that many people spending $5 not playing the game that much.
Oh, what's an ironic thing to say with Spencer and
Oh, yeah.
Nicole?
But also, like 60% of the people are buying the gold pass and not playing the game very much. To introduce a price hike on that feels kind of weird. If you're not filling your bank, it to me it seems like you're not that interested in the game to start with. Now you're going to tell all those people, the majority of people who aren't playing very much, now you're going to have to pay more, and it's probably not going to make you play all that much more now anyway. I know, like they'll never share the
Yeah.
sales numbers with us, but I am curious, like if how much of a hit in Gold Pass sales are actually going to take on this.
One thing I do want to point out that you guys haven't mentioned yet. I don't know why, but the best part of this gold pass is get some clan
It's gonna be
house
something
parts.
shit, isn't it? What's he gonna
No,
say?
You get some of those awesome clan house
like you get
parts.
roofs and your yard
Oh,
decorations for your Capitol House. I don't even know what my Capitol House looks like right now.
Oh my god!
I don't know either. I don't think I've looked at it in
I
probably
check
since
mine
they
every
got
day.
released.
Clan houses will always be
Oh,
underrated.
I bought a windmill one
no.
back when I had a ton of excess raid medals. I'm almost broke on raid medals now since the update because I'm actually buying stuff. It was occasionally I would just buy a Capitol House decoration just to avoid capping out on raid medals. But I don't know, Spencer might be the only person in the whole Clash of Clans community to be hyped up about Capitol House stuff.
You know, I've
Yeah.
actually found a few people who are like me, and we have a clan capital house
You
chat.
have a Clan Capitol House group chat going?
Yep, yep. You should be very jealous.
The fact that there's there's that many, that few people that care about the clan capital houses that you can fill them in one single chat, I think says a lot about how many people actually care about those damn things. At max 10 people care about those houses. That is a solid stat. Talking about numbers, how many gold passes have you guys stocked up on in preparation for the price increase?
Well, I think the limit is 8, so I got 8, but I've been giving them away for fun. Like sometimes I'll be talking to someone and I'll be like, "You want a gold
I want
pass?"
a gold
And then
pass.
I'll give it to them.
I do want to test something too. I have 8. I wonder, can you gift me one and get me over 8? I wonder, like, I'll send it right back to you too if you want. I'm just curious. I bought 8 myself. I'll probably buy 8 more on an alt account. No, I know some people have bought like 50 plus.
That's actually insane.
The person I'm talking about is Trample, but he's also gonna do, yeah, he's gonna start
Right.
doing more giveaways too, so it kind of makes sense for him. I wouldn't want to spend
Yeah.
years of gold passes in advance now to lock in $2 savings, just because I don't know, like you don't know, like I don't know if I'll be playing the game in 5 years. I don't know if the game's gonna exist in 5 years.
Yeah, like, I'm fairly
Well, you can
confident
say that.
8 months I'll probably still be playing. But
Yeah.
8 years,
No,
yeah,
like if
that's
I'll probably buy
yeah,
8 more and
that's
have 16, and then if something happens, like I get, decide to quit mod and do whatever, play a different game, I'll just do a giveaway, I guess.
yeah.
It seems like you guys are fairly
At
confident
some
about.
point, dude, everything comes to an end, man.
I'm gonna be worried if I'm
I
still
mean, I
playing
thought
this
that
game in
5 years
like
ago
5 years,
too.
to be honest.
So, but here I am, even more invested. I, I know, like it does, like that is a kind of a good point too. Is like a lot of the negative feedback I've seen about the Gold Pass is saying like, "Hey, is Clash dying?" There's been a lot of posts about like the trashy mobile game ads that they're going into now, and now they're raising the price on this.
Hmm.
Is Supercell or is Clash in a bad place, do you think? And then also going back to what Sam said, like how do you envision the game dying at some point? Because it will obviously. What are the warning signs that you think we will see ahead of time, and then how do you see the game actually dying?
I mean, I think the warning signs will be updates and their consistency because currently we are still getting great updates, even if maybe not everyone's a fan of them. For example, not everyone was huge on Clan Capital. Some people still aren't huge on Builder Base 2. Your updates won't please everyone, but the fact is they were big, right? They were clearly a product of lots of time and lots of dedication, and you don't do that if you are not making a profit, right? So I think at our current stage, I think it'd be mad to say Clash is dying because we just got a huge Build Race revamps. Literally, only a few weeks after, we got a huge Channel 15 content refresh, right? We are getting lots of updates. The warning signs will be when it goes from 4 major updates a year to 3, right? And they'll say, oh, we just want to focus it here. Yeah, they'll give some reason, but I think when we start to see updates decrease, that is when we know that Supercell is spooked by the numbers and the game is going to decline.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Instead of the number of updates dropping, just the quality of updates dropping, rather than these large updates, we would get something small like just quality of life or something like that. When the first changes to the Gold Pass was announced, if that was by itself, I wouldn't think twice about it. But as Rick mentioned, we also got those ads this year, um, a few months apart. And so with that together, you do kind of get that feeling like what direction is Clash going in and where will it be?
All the ads too. It's like I'm seeing them more on other mobile games, and they're definitely the kind of ads that at least I associate with cheaper games. I'm just curious,
Hmm.
how much money are they still making from Clash? I believe Clash is still their biggest game. It's definitely their cash cow. So I wouldn't say it's going anywhere anytime soon, but they're clearly in a big push to bring new players in and bring players back. And then couple that with like, hey, we actually need more money too. It doesn't give me a warm fuzzy, that's for sure.
We all know peak Clash of Clans was over years ago, but from the development side of it, um, Darren has told us that they're expanding their team a lot so they could all work on different updates at the time. So development wise, they're still going uphill. They're doing really good right now.
Clash is never going to shut down. Just look at Boom Beach too. They get like they were super happy to have a second update this year, and it was still really small stuff. But I know earlier this year they got an update, and it was one new troop, and I couldn't even tell you what the other stuff was, and they were just ecstatic that was like for their one yearly update, they actually got something new. And they're clearly just letting Boom Beach coast. There is still a small enough community who's buying instant training and buying the second builder, which are both monthly subscription stuff. Just like you were saying, Sam, at some point we're gonna notice them putting Clash of Clans on cruise control, and that's when I'm gonna start to, probably start to look at alternative venues to how I'm gonna waste all my time.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're probably not going to pull the plug on Clash before we quit, right? I can't foresee, it's going to be unlikely that we stay there till the bitter end. So I genuinely couldn't tell you at what point, what will be the big thing which makes you go, right, it's time to jump ship. Because even if updates start decreasing, I'll probably, it's what's it called, the sunken cost fallacy. I put so much time and effort into the game, even if it's going downhill. I think I'll be somewhat reluctant to quit just because of the money and the time that I've put into this. It'll feel a bit disappointing just to cast it aside.
The day Spencer quits Clash of Clans is the day that
Nope.
Clash of Clans dies.
Yeah, I'm gonna quit the day after they close down the servers.
Their income will just plummet.
And it directly tie you quitting to layoffs over in Finland.
Yeah, once I stop spending money, they stop getting their salary.
you individually are like partially responsible for an entire employee's salary.
Probably because of me and people like me, they could just grab a few more people on their team to help with updates.
I'd ask you guys to make some bold predictions or some kind of either or stuff. Did either of you actually do that?
I read the brief and thought about it, but I kind of thought it would be more. I thought it'd be more on the fly thing.
All right. What do you think is more likely? That Global Chat comes back in 2024, or that Ocean Gate will actually do another dive down to the Titanic in 2024?
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you just said that.
Ocean Gate, even though that's so unlikely, global chat is never coming back.
Yeah, like as soon as you said global chat, I knew the second option would be so much
Yeah.
more likelier, no matter what it was. I don't know if you guys know, but Darian just did an AMA. One of the questions he did answer was about global chat, and I kind of felt bad because he's been answering that question since he was hired, giving the same answer every time. I just felt
He
so
came out
bad
the
for him in that
womb.
moment.
Some kind of communication quality of life change would be more than welcome. It won't be global chat, but I like people throw out alliance chat all the time as a good viable option. Like it's already we know they can already handle a second tab of chat, so some kind of clan alliance or even just moving FCs over there. I don't know, like it needs something. Clash has always been a social game, so a way to improve the sociability of clans would definitely be great. So, do you guys think we will see the second version of a super troop again? So, like we already have a super hog. Would we get a different super hog or a different super archer? I think that's more likely, or we will see our first super spell first.
Super spell.
Oh, that's actually a really good one because I know they said they don't want to go back and do more super troops until each troop has their own. Um, but super spells, that's actually very interesting. I don't even think they would go that route. Like I've seen some concepts on the sub, like super spells being just like taking up a fourth of the entire base and lasting the whole attack, but costing like 7 housing space. Um, but yeah, that's very interesting. I'm gonna have to go with super spells. I think that's something they might be doing in a few years. I don't know.
All right, all right. My last one. Do you think we are more likely to get heroes in friendly wars or friendly challenges, or clan name changes?
That's a really good one as well.
I
Um,
think clan name changes because using heroes in FCs and friendly wars is a direct assault to Supercell's profit margins. So I don't think they'd be going that route.
yeah, I got to back up Sam here. Um, clan name changes is something that I'm sure they've talked about a lot, and their reason
Oh yeah,
behind changing
it's really
clan
weak.
names has never really been super solid. And if they allowed heroes in friendly challenges, that would kind of lower the value of magic items that relate to hero upgrades and stuff like that. So definitely clan name changes. Oh, it's just put me on the spot. I don't think I could think of any.
Yeah, this is why I called it homework. Okay,
Oh,
anyway.
I have one
Yeah,
actually.
well,
I have one. I have a really good one.
Okay, go.
Who do you think will retire from Clash first? Clash Ninja or Trample Damage?
Ninja's here, right?
Yeah, he's in the
he
chat.
So,
was here. Yeah,
all right.
yeah, he is here.
Yeah, don't take this as insulting, but I think I think Ninja could. I don't know how much work Clash Ninja actually puts into his site. Not to no. Okay, so that probably sounded insulting, but okay, so I don't know that Clash Ninja to keep it going really takes a Herculean effort. Like it seems like the majority of the work is already done, and he could keep it minimal. He could use minimal effort to keep it going for a much longer time. Whereas Trample he's doing a podcast, which is awesome. You guys should go listen to it. It's called Inside Clash with Trample Damage. He does content for TikTok and YouTube. He does events. He's doing a whole. He's a creator. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff, and he has a regular full time job on top of that. So I think Trample is much more likely to burn out doing this because he's taking on an amount that is more akin to like a full-time job, whereas Ninja's doing his stuff on the side.
Okay.
Ninja's over here making some passive income.
Well,
Oh, I
Ninja's
know.
gone completely silent since you just snagged him off there. So
I know. I know.
I think
Like, I was
he was
like,
drafting his retirement speech today, and now he feels bad.
man, like I don't know how to phrase this without sounding like a jerk, but I know, like I do love, I do love, I do love the site. I'm actually back using Clash Ninja nearly daily now after months of being maxed and not needing to.
Yeah, Rick messaged me the other day. He said he planned out the next like
yeah,
8 months on Clash
month.
Ninja.
No, and Ninja, what I need personally from you is I need a spacer to mark idle builders during CWL. I've been just assigning builders to be in the forge, and I know I'm not going to do that, and it kind of works like that. But I need idle builder time from you, Ninja.
Well, glad we got the feature request in. Okay, I'm gonna do one more prediction. I'm gonna nick it from the modcast agenda, which I thought we were gonna use for this, but apparently not. So I'm gonna nick this one. Right, what's more likely, a fifth hero at the Town Hall 16, or Trump winning a second term next year?
Oh my gosh. I was hoping we would not get to this one.
I really wanted to ask it.
You know, I'm just gonna say I think a fifth hero is much more likely.
Really?
I know they were super against adding another hero for Home Village. They kept saying 4 heroes is enough, but they kind of backtracked on that a little. I saw Darian answered somewhere that they 100% will bring more heroes to Home Village in the future. They just don't know when.
Oh, God, there's
Um,
like
so I think it's pretty likely that we'll get a fifth hero
so
soon.
we're up to like 280 280 285 total hero levels, right? It's 90 90 60 and 40, right?
Yeah.
So and that's a lot of hero levels and that's a lot of hero books. And now so Town Hall 16 would be definitely push us over 300 for sure, probably 305, at least to start. Plus pet levels, either another 4 pets to level 10 or 15, or everything to 15 or 20, and a fifth hero. It's man, it's too much.
Yeah, I'm putting my money on a Trump second term, sadly.
I don't have enough faith in America to not elect Trump, even even if he's literally in jail.
Which he very well might be.
Yeah, I don't know. Like people will vote for him just because it's funny.
It's quite funny to her. As well as being deeply distressing, but it is quite funny.
Yeah, we have to laugh so we don't cry.
Exactly.
All right. Next up, what was coming next? Okay. Oh yeah, just call your shot right now. Make your prediction on the next Super Troop.
Oh,
Electro Dragon.
I'm going with healer. We want a super
Super
healer.
healer could be cool.
I'm sure if we took a poll with the entire Clash community, I feel like everyone would go with healer, the majority.
I think I'm gonna say Super P.E.K.K.A. because even with the new level, it's like it still doesn't make sense to really use P.E.K.K.A.s for much. But a Super P.E.K.K.A. Like man, Supercell loves P.E.K.K.A.s. They're always trying to over the last decade, they're always trying to push P.E.K.K.A.s on us. To do it is with some version of a Super P.E.K.K.A.
Interesting. Well, whoever gets it
There
right,
you go.
the other two should give them a gold pass.
Okay, yeah,
Spencer, we know we can just ask you for one, and it doesn't even matter what the bet is.
yeah.
So
I'm down for I'm down for making that bet. If it's one of what you two said, I'll send you each a gold pass.
Let's
I
go.
mean, I didn't make my predictions with much confidence, but okay, I'll go with it.
All right, next up, do we want to talk about leaks?
Quickly, well, I'm noticing we're already half an hour in,
Okay.
and it's such a mess. I don't really want to dive into it too
Right.
much.
So, we don't need to get too much into like the drama part of it too, but I do want to get your opinion on leaks in general, at least.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Over the last couple weeks, like Reddit's been kind of crazy anyway. There's been a whole lot of Reddit protests. We can link back to the post we made about why we did not black out with all the other Reddit protests too. But at the same time, the leak subreddit went private, not out of protest, but because they kind of got attacked by one of the salty leakers over their watermark rule too. They ended up going private. They lost their Discord server to DMCA spam, and it looks like they are back at least for now. But it has brought the idea of leaks kind of to the forefront in my mind too. So, Spencer and I have disagreed about leak stuff in the past. So, ethically, what do you think our role on the sub should be regarding leaks, Spencer?
I have never liked leaks. I know Supercell isn't super cautious, and we always put the blame on them, but I feel like we still shouldn't be allowing leaks, because they're plainly unethical and unhealthy for the game. And the posts that we do get for leaks, they don't do very well at all. They get barely any upvotes or comments. The community speaks too. Like, they don't really like leaks either. If someone wants leaks, they could go find them on the leak sub.
Sam, how do you feel about it?
I'm okay with leaks. I think you can avoid them. I think you don't need to look at them. They don't if you want to know what's coming in a game, I don't think it ruins the experience, because if you want to know, you can know. You're gonna find it at some point eventually. It's just more about the timing and maybe the presentation of it. If you don't want to see the leaks, you don't need to see them. And I think that does come on us as well. We need to make sure we are enforcing rules appropriately on them on the subreddit. For example, all leaks should be marked as a spoiler. There shouldn't be spoilers in titles. In no way, shape, or form should they ever be marked as official news. But ultimately, we do not work for Supercell. We are not at the moment of Supercell. We are not their mouthpieces. We're not. We do not have that kind of affiliation. And if it's in the community, it's in the community. And I think it's a bit futile for us to have some sort of moral stance on it, when ultimately we're just here to serve the community, serve what they think is best. If they want to see leaks, they can see them. If they don't want to, they don't have to see them. They can vote with their mouse or with their thumb. They can upvote. They can downvote. We don't need to be taking some huge crusade against leaks.
Right. So I think part of the reason leaks don't do too well when they're posted to our sub is that there has been a leak sub specifically dedicated to it, and posts over there do get a lot more. Um, I'll say they get really good discussion when they're posted over there too. It's a smaller community, and I think smaller Reddit communities are just better about that in general. The data mine stuff too that's within Supercell's ability to control, at least to a certain extent. There's no reason, like, people have data mined and said they found stuff related to the anniversary like a month ago. So if you don't want people to find that, why are you putting it in the game files 2 months early for people just to go and dig through and find? So to some extent, a Supercell is allowing it. Some stuff probably needs to be loaded early, just logistically, to make it possible. But yeah, I know, like, every game and every game community kind of has their own version of data mining for leaks. There was a big fight about it on the Escape from Tarkov sub the other day, where the developer came out and said this is illegal and you shouldn't be doing it. And the community just kind of laughed in their faces. And yeah, I don't know. As far as the sub goes, I think it is good discussion that I don't want to discourage. We have to be careful too, because some of us have NDAs and we don't want to look like we're confirming or denying leaks. So for the most part, yeah, I think maintaining our current policy of most being hands off and not confirming anything, just trying to make sure that no one else is spoiling any surprises for anyone else, and I'm fine with leaving it as is.
I mean, we get funny moments, right? Do you remember the
Oh,
Clash
yeah.
arcade games that we got for the Clash anniversary last year? And someone
It was some
leaked it.
kid.
Someone leaked it weeks, possibly even months early. Yeah, saying his mum knew someone who worked on the Clash Dash game, and everyone, the entire thread is just people laughing at him.
It was
Go,
yeah,
sure, buddy,
it was
sure,
like
sure, your
it was
mum's
like a
friend knows
12-year-old
that.
kid. He
And
said,
then
like, my friend's mom worked
I don't
for Supercell on like some Mario Kart ripoff of Clash, and everyone's like, dude, there's no way this is true. That's total BS. And then 4 months later, Flash Dash was added into the anniversary
He
stuff.
got his vindication. I do remember that being like the number one post in Hot that day, just his vindication. So yeah, he may have come off slightly badly initially, but I think he won in the end. He won well.
All right, so moving on. Something that I've seen a lot of people bring up in chat too is something. It's been taken off at least on Reddit. If you go into your builder base right now and open up your trophies and go to the top clans, there are at least 5 clans right now named Fix Your Game. The top 3 builder base clans in the whole world right now are called Fix Your Game, and it's all of the serious builder base players right now are kind of banding together to join. I don't know if calling it a protest is the right word. What would you guys call it?
Demonstration?
Yeah. As of right now, 5 of the top 10 builder base clans are Fix Your Game. Apparently, the number 1 clan in the world right now, Fix Your Game, is the first clan to be over 100,000 trophies in builder base, which is massive too. Just because the way the game counts trophies, it's not just simply all 50 people added up, because being over 100,000 would be not impressive at all. It's just to have 50 people just to have 50 people at 2,000. It really heavily weights the top players. Go there, click on one of these clans, and they all have the same description. It says, "We're tired of being ignored. The system is broke. Please watch our explanation on YouTube." Video by Aster_COC, ASHJER_COC. If you want to look it up, I'll drop a link in the episode description too. We will not tolerate it much longer. Justice for Psy. Have you guys seen the story going on about it right now?
I did some brief reading on it because I must say I wasn't really plugged into it until at some point this day. I haven't fully immersed myself in it, but yeah,
So,
I've read up on the overall problem.
What's going on too is Supercell made some matchmaking changes. Matchmaking for Builder Base 2 was originally just terrible, and it looks like they tried to make some fixes, and they ended up breaking it even more in those extreme high level things. So this guy Psychopath is probably the best example of this, but it has been happening to more people, where apparently he was just taking nonstop defenses, and still is. It knocked him all the way down from somewhere over 9,000 cups all the way down to 24, and he still is taking just tens, if not dozens, of 6-star defenses from top players, even though he's down in the lowest possible league ever, just constantly getting knocked back down to 24. And because he's in such a low league, even if he's 6 stars, other people, he's only getting 3 trophies out of it. So it's just impossible for him to dig himself out of this hole that the Supercell matchmaking has buried him in. It is happening to a lot more people though, apparently. If you want to go see the more of the story, Sid here, if you're listening live, Sid just dropped a link to the video in chat. If you're listening later, download it. It'll be in the episode description, like I said. But watch it. It's really interesting. And also, this guy Aster, too, I know a couple episodes ago, I said, who is even making builder-based content? This guy is, and it's really good stuff, too. Also, I don't know what happened first, but there's also something going on similar in the Capitol Hall side, too. Have you guys seen that?
Yes, so it seems I can understand the anger the builder based ones a little
Builder
bit
based
more.
stuff is hard broken. There's things that are unfair and broken in the game causing issues. The Capitol Hall side is more just complaints about the state of the Capitol Hall in general. I know if you go into again looking at the top clans, most of the top clans have some version of a description complaining about the Capitol Hall. The top clan in the world right now, White Wolves NL. Supercell, please save the clan capital. The current matchmaking and the graveyard meta make it boring. You can't take a break because then you're off the leaderboard. This causes many players and clans to quit. Please change a few things.
We actually have a very knowledgeable person on Clan Capital sent something.
Hmm?
I don't know if you know him, Miglav. He's the one that did the analysis of Clan Capital on the subreddit 6 months in. Remember that?
A long time ago, yeah.
Lightly.
Yeah, he just sent a good
Oh,
message.
yeah, it's It's wild. So what he's saying is that the way matchmaking works on the clan capital is it's based on the number of upgrades that your clan has done, and once your clan has done 1,600 upgrades, it's kind of a free for all. So whether you're totally maxed out or whether you're at 1601, which is still fairly low, it's kind of all over the place too. So there are clans just cleaning up and getting stomped, and other it's hard to stay on top of the leaderboards with that amount of randomness. Also, some of the other big complaints too up there are that you can't take a break or a weekend off because no matter whether or not you participate in raid weekend, your clan will lose 20% of its cups. So the idea is that it encourages you to stay involved and get your hits done every week too, because you're gonna lose cups no matter what. So if your clan wanted to take a weekend off or take a break, you would be sacrificing your spot in the leaderboard there, which honestly, that's one of the complaints I don't really get. Like that seems fair that if you're not gonna play, you shouldn't be able to hang on to your spot on the leaderboard.
Yeah, that seems less egregious to me. I see Sid saying that maybe the percentage could be reduced, but yeah, like, then again, they don't have a system like that for, say, Clan War League, for example. You can just cruise and stay in Champs 1, for example, if you get that, and never have to keep playing every month. So, then I guess there's less of a leaderboards competitive arena there. So,
There are tons of clans that get to Champs 1 and then camp. But yeah, it's not really so much a problem too because there's not like a Champs 1 leaderboard. There kind of is, but not really.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
but yeah, there's all the other the top capital hall clans have some version of complaints about how boring the graveyard spell is or how repetitive it is. But in the update cycle that we've had lately too, we had Builder Base in the spring, we had Town Hall 15 in the summer, so coming up next, if they stick to the same schedule, should be a capital update in the fall. So if you guys just hang on a little bit longer, maybe we'll get new capital content and hopefully a lot of balance changes. It does kind of suck that Clash is so slow with balance changes too, just and on all the villages.
Yeah, like it is honestly, it does happen, but it is rare that we get actual balance change updates. Like off the top of my head, I cannot think of an example, but some games are really good with lots of balance changes quite quickly, right? But Clash, either if there's something, I mean, honestly, the times I've noticed them do balance changes is often when I haven't even noticed something majorly wrong, but then just suddenly a random balance change update comes out, or they just bundle it in with the regular quarter yearly updates. I think it's at least 3 months, almost definitely more until we get the autumn update, and I think that is problematic for Clan Capital. I think that is a long time to wait, especially if there is such anger now. And it may be that they do need to just do a balance change in the meantime. And again, Finnish holidays, I believe, have potentially started or will start soon. So Superstar employees won't necessarily be in the office, which might add to difficulties actually trying to push that through.
Hey guys, so we covered the Town Hall 15 update pretty extensively too. Just real quick, where are you guys at in Town Hall 15 so far?
Well, day one, I bought all the packs and I got through all my heroes except the RC, and I was able to upgrade everything except builder huts and seeking air mines. So that's where I am really. Everything's slowed down. All my builders are available because I don't really farm and I don't have loot for upgrades. So yeah, that's where I am.
Dan, what about you?
Well, so firstly, we still need to do a pod on why Spencer's everything about how Spencer plays Clash is outrageous. But
Oh, I'm keeping notes. I'm keeping notes for that one.
oh, I really hope you are because we need them. I'm about halfway done with my heroes. I think I've got 2 or 3 levels left for each of them. I'm hoping with a bit of magic item trickery, they'll get mostly done by CWL. Things like Scattershot all upgraded. Lab, I've only got a few things left just because magic items are just they're just so easy to pass through the lab with, especially with the 3 research potions in the Clan Capital Trader every week. I still got things like Teslas to do, still got builder huts to do, traps I'm getting through. And then I've still got cannons left, which because I was literally 2 weeks off maxing before the update actually came out, so I still got that to do. But yeah, made some solid progress. And yourself?
I will have 3 of my 4 heroes done by CWL. That's mostly hammers. I'm gonna have to gem a few days off of
Yeah.
two of them just to get them done for my first war. But or actually we're getting 2 builder potions in clan games, so maybe I'll have to look.
Yeah.
Eagle's done, Scouters just finished, working on builder huts and some troops. I still don't really know what I'm gonna use offensively, just because I've been only doing sneaky gob farming. The loot is amazing in Titan 3 Champs 1 kind of area. 1.5 million, 1,300 dark, like every single hit, only next in for a
That's
few
pretty good.
minutes. Loot's insane. I'm so glad I got out of Legends.
Yeah, it took me a while.
What do you guys think are the big winners and the big losers of this update? Spence, we'll start with you.
I have seen quite a few Super Hog Rider attacks. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah.
I've been seeing some 3 stars by them, and they're actually pretty fun to watch. But I have not seen the Apprentice Warden being used much at all. Maybe one every 5 attacks, but Super Hogs are great.
Super Hogs are fun. I wish I had heroes to try them out, but they look cool. Sam, what do you got for winners and losers?
Okay, biggest winner. I think we have a lot more attacks in the meta now, which is great. I think we had at least in the pro meta, we had a lot of Lalo before this, and now it's really been switched up by the new hog levels and etc. So I think that's a major plus. I really like the variation in RB, more variation in RB compositions. Biggest L, I think either is the Apprentice Warden. I'm going to go with Spencer. I've scarcely seen it used at all, and I think it's really not caught on. Also, dragons have made their way back into the meta a little bit, and I'm not sure how I feel about that at this moment in time.
Yeah, I think casual players got a huge W out of this update too. It's just a lot more offensive power to be able to tackle other Town Hall 15s. Super Hogs are fun. It's spam is coming back a little bit, which is nice for casual players. Then that also means that the pro scene kind of took a big L too because the game just got a lot easier, and there were a lot of people who really enjoyed the game being as difficult as it was, and they lost that. There's arguments out there that it's making watching esports a little more boring, but also I don't care. I want the game to be fun for the average player.
Also, one thing that's just come into mind, which is a big personal annoyance for me, though maybe for the game it is ultimately healthy, is the blimp nerf. Right, I was a really big Blizzard Lalo player before the updates, and I haven't really had heroes up, so I've had to properly try it. But for a few, like I'm talking 2 or 3 proper attacks I've done, I've stayed away from Blizzard Lalo, and I do not really see it much anymore, which is really really upsetting to me.
Spencer, do you have any more winners or losers?
Nope.
Sam, what do you got?
Uh,
you guys suck so much.
What do you mean? You said
already
pick
know.
one biggest winner and one biggest loser. We
I
gave
said
and
I said pick a few.
okay, let's pick another winner. Another winner is we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. More Tower 15 stuff. There you go. It's really basic, but we had a huge content deprivation for a while, and I think it's actually really nice that. Yeah, I think it's hard. It's easy to forget that a lot of people really don't care about Clan Capital. Well, especially Clan Capital. That's not hard to forget. But even Builder Base 2, it's not like that generated huge excitement within the wider community. Maybe initially, but I don't think it's still. I don't think it's captivated a whole new audience, right? And the home village updates have been a little less frequent recently, so it's nice to actually get some new stuff again.
I think a big winner out of this update too are kind of clans that have been stagnant or having trouble recruiting. because I don't know about you guys, but we've had a lot of players who had quit come back to try this update, and they're back and they're having fun, and our clan chat's really active again. Are you guys seeing people return to the game that had quit?
It's difficult for me to say that honestly because I moved clan basically at the same time as the update, so I haven't really been able to notice that. Especially, I think I might have, because I'm still in the Discord for old clan. I think I might have seen one or two people come back, but overall, that's rather difficult for me to say.
And then I think the flip side of that too is with all these returning players, Reddit and us have kind of taken an L because I find myself answering the same questions a million times a day on Reddit too. It's someone who is saying, "Hey, I left. I quit a year ago. I quit however long ago. What's this? What's this? What's this? What's that?" And I was like, "Man, just go read. There's been one major update since you quit. Just go read it, or
Yeah,
spend four minutes playing around in your clan."
One thing I've noticed come up more as well recently, which I've been whamming to the mega threads, is best league to farm in at X Town Hall. I've noticed a lot more of them recently, which I can only imagine is people returning and having no idea where to get loot, or potentially people who've been in Legends this whole time and suddenly need loot. Though I haven't actually seen many Town 15s requesting leagues to farm in, so I reckon it has been a lot of returning players having no idea where they need to be.
Yeah, I did notice. I didn't have any people come back, but it did kind of bother me, especially with the builder base update. As soon as the update dropped, everyone was asking like, "Why is my builder base split in two?" I'm like, are you not following the news? Like this has been an ongoing thing for almost 6 months.
I mean, your answer there is no. They are not following these, and they're probably people that have seen this. They don't really play anymore. They kind of see it, and they, etc. But yeah, I mean, it's not hard, is it? Just to literally go on ClashClans.com, read the blog post. There you go.
And one thing I do want to mention is we just finished up our Winners War event, which was all of the winners of the events for the last year. We put them on two teams and we had them battle it out for the final battle. And it came out to be a tie. And so um, everyone who participated was given a golden ticket. And what that golden ticket is and what it does will be revealed on July 1st. If you're curious about it, and if you want to earn your own golden ticket in the future, I suggest joining the events Discord server, and it will be very very incredible. The announcement July 1st.
If you're interested in a thing that you have no idea about, come on into the Discord server.
It will. Okay, so I don't want to steal Spencer's reveal thunder, but I will say it is a really fun idea. Inspired by obviously the golden tickets in the game that everyone in esports knows, and so do please check out the event server. There's going to be a monthly event for the foreseeable future. They're all really fun. Spencer does an amazing job leading it and has a great team of people helping him out too. Every event I've participated in the last year has been awesome. So thank you, Spencer, for doing that. And then, yeah, that brings us to the top of the hour, too. Do you guys have any shout outs before we go? Sam?
Well, I think I'd like to shout out Ninja today after you had brutally slagged him off about the lack of work that you think he does for his website. I feel like he deserves some sort of appreciation for the fact that he's built an incredibly, incredibly helpful tool that I think everyone here uses, and probably the most people in this chat as well. And I'm sure it's not easy work as someone who does program occasionally and do that stuff. I can tell you it does not take 5 minutes just to bang that kind of thing out, and it is definitely something I could never do. So I'm very impressed with Clash Ninja, and I think Rick, you have been incredibly unfair to him. Spencer, any shoutouts?
Yeah, quick shout out to Ninja Rick. I just know like whenever there's a balance change or something, I know Ninja just exhales and he's like, oh, I have to update this on my site. So shout out to him and shout out to the 23 people listening live We love our live viewers. You guys are the best. We love interacting with you guys in chat too.
Definitely. Rick, anything? An apology, perhaps?
Through the magic of editing, I'm sure my words about the quality,
Oh,
the quality and effort that
no.
Ninja
Nick
puts
Stan
into his
say it.
site will be very positive. Uh, but yeah, Ninja's a great dude, and he has a great site, and I'm sure will look through my rambling and find the compliments in there. I say
Really hard.
there are a lot of other amazing Clash podcasts too. I talked about Trample's one inside Clash with Trample Damage. That's great. Crystal to Join podcast is awesome. The Clash Wolves, I stayed up an hour past when I wanted to last night, finishing your last awesome episode. Pineapples and Thorns, Clash Live In, Clash Tours is another new one that's doing great. There's so many out there. If you enjoy us, go ahead and check those guys out too, because they're all fun, and you will definitely be able to find something that you enjoy from a lot of them. So I just want to say shout out, much love to the whole podcast community. Love you guys. Oh, Elleville is back. The Geared Up Esports show. It's Elleville Gaming and Bad Stag too. I almost forgot about them, but they just released their first episode in a while last week, and it was awesome too. If you want to hear a much better esports, take than we're gonna manage, yeah, check them out. That's the Elleville Gaming and Bad Stag, the Geared Up Esports show again. So welcome back to those guys. And
That doesn't remind me. I would quite like to quickly also shout out Bad Stag as he recently streamed a competitive war. I participated with my clan. Unfortunately, we lost on percent. We lost due to a 99% time fail, which was really heartbreaking. But I was very grateful for Bad Stag for streaming that, and especially the fact that he streamed me 3-starring. So that was always greatly appreciated.
I like how your shout out was just a little bit of a flex on yourself.
Yeah, I kind of had to work that in there.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. We will see you again in 2 weeks.
Been a pleasure.